Okay, welcome. This is Kim Willis again with another Facebook Live, and it's good to be doing another one towards the end or at the end of the week. I like to do one before the weekend. So this particular topic, I think you'll find it quite interesting. My first 10K online, my first $10,000 in earnings or commissions actually as an affiliate marketer. All right, I'm not an affiliate marketer anymore, I might add, but way back in 2006, that was my chosen pathway. I wanted to get into the online world, so I thought, I haven't got any products of my own, so I better sell someone else's. So I looked around for an opportunity, and I found one. So my first 10K online, secrets revealed, including the fast start methods that I used. So this should be quite good, particularly if you haven't yet made your first $10,000 online. And I guess it's fair to say that a lot of marketers that I speak to are indeed in that position where they haven't made much money or even any money online. So if you're watching the replay, welcome, enjoy the show. If you're live, welcome. Let's see, we've got a few people already. Let's see who we got here. We got Rebecca, Becky, Cash. Hi, Becky, how you doing? Great. We had a quick chat last night, my time. Frank, hey Frank, haven't spoken to you for a while. All right, so let's get started with this topic. As I said, my name is Kim Willis, and I call myself a digital nomad. So I've been doing quite a bit of traveling the last 5 years, heading into the 6th year now. It was originally I was just going to go away for 12 months and have a bit of a tour around Asia and shoot over to the US for a month and do a few things like that. And then I was going to come back home, which was Australia. But here I am, more than 5 years later. I'm still doing it. I'm still a digital nomad. Currently, I'm in Asia, and I'm in a country called Cambodia, which is sandwiched between Vietnam on one side and then Thailand on the other. I've stayed put here for a while because I do enjoy this place. I enjoy it. It's a crazy little country, but some very sweet people live here. I like the food. It's the cost of living is low, which is good for me because I don't like to spend too much money anymore. I used to be, last of the big spenders, but now it's more about living reasonably frugal, in a frugal way, and just building up my bank account. So let's get started. I've got 7 of them, 7 mini lessons learned as a result of making my first $10,000 online. I'll probably run some more in this series. This will be part of an ongoing series. So I think the next one will be lessons learned from my first 50,000 online. And then the 100,000 will be the next threshold, 250 the next, 500,000 the next, and then 1 million plus. So I'm going to create a format for each one of these, let's call them milestones, okay? Milestones. Now, I assume everyone can hear me. Can you just say yeah or something like that? Say yes, I can hear you or something like that. Can you just type that in? That'd be great before I get started with the main topic. Can someone just type in? Oh, well, yeah, just say that you can hear me. Yes, can hear. Can you do that? Appreciate it. Want to make sure that the call is the sound quality is good enough. Can you hear me? Can somebody say hi? Yeah. That's great. Yes, thank you. Yes, I can hear you. Great. Thanks, Becky. All right. Well, let's get started. Let's get started with this topic. My first $10,000 online. Number 1. What I found was that high ticket is faster than small ticket. Okay, a high ticket product, a high ticket offer, it's faster. Stands to reason. It's pure maths, isn't it? So I decided to sign up with this company that had a high ticket product, okay, and it paid a minimum of a $1,000 commission. And if people upgraded to the higher level, there'd be another $4,500 in there. So it was like $5,500 potential if somebody upgraded to the next level. But even at the 1,000 back in 2006, I thought that's not a bad commission. And I thought, yeah, there's potential there for me to create an income quite quickly. And that's more or less what happened. It didn't exactly go according to the original plan, but it did work out pretty well in the end. And so, yeah, so my rationale, I think, was sound. Look for a high ticket offer. Look for a high ticket offer. Now, I don't do affiliate marketing anymore, but I still have high ticket in my portfolio of offers, if you like. So now I have a higher ticket coaching program, but that's my coaching program, okay? So I'm quite comfortable with high ticket because I know that there are always going to be people that want a more complete answer, a more complete, solution to their problem. And that's going to cost more money. It requires more money. And I'm into that. I've spent, I don't know how much money I've spent over the years on high ticket training products, coaching programs, mentoring programs. So, I'm into it. I'm happy to invest. I've invested quite a bit in the last few months. So, and the people that I paid the money to, they've made money from me. Fine, I'm happy with that because they're delivering great value in return and it's helping me move to the next level, okay? So I'm into that. So I had no problems investing. It was $10,000 back in 2006. It was a buy-in kind of thing, right? But I thought, well, start making a few sales. I'm going to make at least $1,000 per sale. And I thought I could probably do that within a couple of months. That was my idea. If I can get to $8,000 to $10,000 a month within say 2 months, 60 days, 90 days, something like that, I'd be quite happy. I'd be quite happy. And so that was my rationale. That's the reason why I did it. I looked at other things like small ticket, small commission offers, products and things like that. But I did the sums, or piece of paper, calculator, and I just did a few projections. And I thought, golly, it's going to take me at least 12 months, assuming I'm successful. It's going to take me at least 12 months to bring in a living wage, a living income. And I needed money now. I needed money within a few months. I couldn't wait a year or 2 years or 3 years or something like that. So that was the deal. That's basically the reason why I decided to go down that pathway, high ticket. So high ticket, that's number one. That's the number one lesson, is that high ticket is faster than small ticket. High ticket is faster than small ticket, unless, of course, you've already got a big audience that you can plug into that small ticket offer. But I didn't have a big audience. I didn't have any online leads. I had no experience at generating leads online. So I was starting basically more or less from scratch. Okay, so that's number one. That's number one. Who else have we got here? We have Frank. Oh, yeah, hi, Frank. Yeah, hi. Yeah, okay, great. All right. Now, Rita. Hi, Rita. Nice to see you again. I think I've seen you before. Yes, I have. All right. Now, number two. So first one, high ticket is faster than small ticket. Now, of course, if you're marketing some kind of a small ticket offer at the moment, no problem. No problem. If you're in love with it, you think that product is fantastic, you believe in it, it's potentially life-changing for people who buy it, keep doing it. I don't want to steal your dream from you. I'm just telling you this was my experience, okay? And of course, not everybody needs to generate income straight away or within a few months. Some people are happy to, if it takes 2-3 years before they replace their workaday, their job type income. So that's okay. So I don't want to steal your dream. I'm just telling you this is what I did, okay? Okay, so that's number one. Number two, you need a method to generate instant leads. So if you want to get some quick results, reasonably quick results, you've got to solve the lead generation problem. You've definitely got to solve that. And I knew that instinctively when I was evaluating this particular program that I ended up joining. I knew that if I couldn't generate leads quickly, my chances of creating an income of $8,000 to $10,000 a month within 60 to 90 days were going to be thwarted. It wasn't going to happen. So I had to have a method that I could believe in that would generate leads quite quickly. So before I joined the program, I spoke to the lady who became my mentor. I spoke to her. I picked her brains basically on what she was doing. And she gave me her formula, what she was using. And she said she was quite happy. She'd be quite happy to teach me the same thing because she was already making money. She's a nice lady. I liked her, and I'm still a very good friend with her even to this day. You know, what's 2006? So what is it now? 13 years later. So, so I said, okay, that's good enough for me because generating leads is critically important. And if I don't have confidence that I can generate leads quickly, I can't participate in this program. So anyway, she convinced me that she had a method and she was prepared to teach me. That's all I needed. So I got started, and then I had a session with her on the phone, and she basically helped me get started with paid advertising. All right. Now, I don't recommend paid advertising for most people now, for newbies. I think organic is much better, and using the strategies that I've developed, it's actually can be quite fast. It can happen quite quickly. But back then, I didn't know any better. And all she knew, my mentor, all she knew was paid because she was taught paid. So I said, okay, well, I'll go with you. So I started with Google AdWords, believe it or not, Google AdWords. Now, I don't use Google AdWords anymore. It only worked for 2 or 3 years, and then Google got real difficult, hard to deal with people like me, like marketers, right? They took a dim view of marketing people. So they made it very difficult. But in that early period there, it was terrific. And so within 24 hours of opening my Google account and setting up my first ad, I had leads. Only a few, but hey, I was happy. Wow, this works. I got 3 leads this morning, and it was only signed up yesterday. Right? So I got 3 leads already. Pretty excited. But the other way that I got leads was from my warm market. Now that's more of a traditional network marketing kind of a method, isn't it? You know, make out a list of people that you know, blah, blah, and go and talk to them and all the rest of it. I did that because I knew I had some people that already liked me. They trusted me. They had some respect for me. So I thought it would be silly of me not to talk to them about this offer that I think is pretty good. So that's what I did. I made a small list. I didn't make a list of hundreds of people, but I made a list of about 25 people. And then I put a tick beside the best of the 25. And it got down, I think I ended up with about 15. And I spoke to 15 and, well, they didn't join straight away, but some of them did, you know, down the track. Okay, so that was also a smart move. So that gave me instant leads, not instant sales, but instant leads. So people within my warm market, my tribe, if you like, small tribe, I had that. Not many people who I'd say were part of my tribe, but at least I had some, and that was good enough. And so I used them plus the Google AdWords. Now the idea, the plan was to phone the leads. So the leads were coming in from Google AdWords. I had to phone them. So that brings me to number 3. The phone is an amazing, awesome conversion tool. The phone, the old-fashioned phone, ringy-dingy 1, ringy-dingy 2. Yeah. So now we have these things. We have mobile phones. We don't use the old handset as much as we used to. Indeed, some households don't even have a hand phone, a traditional landline type connection anymore. They just use their cell phone or their mobile phone. Fine. Way back in 2006, I had a cell phone, but a mobile phone, but I also had my landline phone. And so the leads were coming in from Google AdWords, plus I had this small warm audience that I could approach. So I just started picking up the phone. All right. So people made an inquiry from the advertising, and then within a day, so I didn't not necessarily phone them straight away, but sometimes I like to leave them sort of gestate a little bit, right? So I'd phone them more often than not. I'd phone them the next day after the lead came in, okay? So I started phoning the leads, and after a week of phoning, guess what happened? Not a damn thing. It was pathetic. It was miserable. I was miserable, and my performance was miserable. It was pathetic. It was hopeless. I was not good on the phone. And to make matters worse, I followed their script, the training script that the company and my mentor gave me. And I didn't like it at all, because it was basically, I was reading off a script, right? It sounded like I was reading. It didn't sound natural. It didn't feel good to me. I hated it. So after a week, I phoned up Tanya and I said, look, Tanya, I don't think I continue on doing this if I'm going to have to keep using this script. And she said, oh, well, that's what I do. You know, it works for other people, blah, blah, blah. And I said, well, I don't think I can do it. You know, it's not working for me. I feel bad about it, and I'm starting to hate it, right? And she said, well, look, I respect you, and if you think you've got a better way, you try that better way for a week or two and see what happens, and just keep in touch with me. I said, okay. So that's what I did. I found a better way. And the better way revolved around me taking more of an interest in people rather than just spieling, you know, sales stuff. I never felt comfortable with that. So I took more of a consultant's approach. I'd ask people questions. I'd listen intensely to the answer. And then I might ask another question, and before I know it, I've uncovered their hot button, their pain point, their problem, all of that. And then it was often just a very short step before I introduced them to the product or the program that I was promoting. So after using my way, by 2 weeks, after 14 days, something like that, I was starting to feel good. Still hadn't made any money, but I'd had a lot of good conversations with some quality people. And my mentor said, look, all you need is 2 good conversations a day. That's all you need. And you will make 100,000 in your first year. 2 good conversations a day. So I just kept thinking of that, 2 good conversations a day. So that's my goal, 2 quality conversations a day. Doesn't matter whether you have 5 or 10 conversations. If none of them are good quality, well, it's been a disappointing day. But you have two quality conversations a day, it's got to be good. Now, in the era of social media, we don't use the phone as much, do we? So I now use messenger, chat, text-based chat conversations more. But I still do voice calls, but I don't do nearly as many as I used to way back in 2006. But anyway, the point is, the lesson is, number 3, the phone is an awesome conversion tool, a way to move a mere lead into a paying customer. So I learned that, and long and short of it, it took me, by the 3rd week, I felt I was doing great on the phone. Even though I hadn't made any money, I felt I was doing great. So, you know, it kind of validated my original decision to move away from the script that they gave me to something which was more natural and more helpful for people. You see what I mean? So that's it. So that's number 3. The phone is an awesome conversion tool. What about number 4? Before I do that, who else have we got here? Joseph Capostagno. Hi, Joseph. Paul. Hi, Paul. Axel. G'day, Axel. Axel from New Zealand. Margaret. Hi, Margaret. Thomas. Hi, Thomas. I don't think I've seen you before. Great. Welcome aboard. So that's number 4. So it's number 3. Now, number 4, follow-up equals fortune. You've probably heard this one before, follow-up equals fortune. I first heard it from a guy you may have heard of called Jim Rohn. And I got to meet Jim Rohn many times when I was based in London back in the 80s. And he used to keep pounding this idea that follow-up equals fortune. So if you're marketing a product or a service or something like that, it's not enough just to have an initial conversation with somebody. You have to follow up. Don't expect them to follow you up. Because if you expect them to do that, basically what you're saying is that you're wanting them to assume the role of a marketer, when really it's your job to be the marketer. And the role of a marketer, or one of the roles, is to follow up. And I've lost count over the years of how many times I followed up and made money from it. And if I hadn't have followed up with those people, I would have been denied, I don't know how much money I would have lost if I hadn't have followed up. So follow up equals fortune. Maybe not a huge fortune, but, you know, six-figure type money. Look, I haven't quantified it, so I'm only guessing, but I would say that if I hadn't have followed up with people in a disciplined way, it would have cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost income. So I know how important it is. Some people feel uncomfortable about following up, of course, because they're frightened of a rejection. Well, we have to deal with it, I guess. We have to deal with it. But you just, look, you follow up, let's say for every 10, you have an initial conversation and then you follow up with somebody 3 days later or something like that. You give them a little bit of time to ruminate, to think about what you've shown them, and then you follow up. Now, I would say that for every 10 people that I followed up, at least 2 of them, maybe 3, maybe 4, ended up doing business. And if I hadn't have followed up, I would have not generated all that additional income. So to me, it's just a no-brainer. We have to follow up. We must follow up. And so what I did was that I had a little, diary calendar system, and I'd basically write down every day who I had to follow up, like the day before, the night before. I'd write on my calendar for the next day, say for Friday or whatever, these are the people that I have to follow up with on that day. Follow up equals fortune. So don't forget that. I think my camera is shaking. I really got to fix this. Next time, I guarantee it, it'll be fixed. All right, Thomas. Yeah, hi, Thomas. Chris. G'day, Chris. Wow, Chris from the Gold Coast. You still in the Gold Coast, Chris? Say yes or no. Where are you now? Where's Chris? Gold Coast, that's in Queensland, Australia, right? So that's my old stamping ground. Okay, so that's number 4. So let's do a quick recap. High ticket is faster than small ticket. As I said, if you're promoting a small ticket offer and you love it and you're excited about it and you believe it can change people's lives, keep doing it. I don't want to steal your dream, but I'm just saying this is what I did, as I said. Number 2, you need a method to generate instant leads. You want to be able to generate quick leads if you want to get off to a fast start, okay? If you want to get off to a fast start, you need to have a way to generate instant leads. So it could be paid traffic. It could be using Facebook. You can generate instant leads on Facebook. There are all sorts of ways of doing it. I teach my students how to do that, generate instant leads. And I've had some fantastic examples of people that I've helped do exactly that, generating instant leads. The phone is an awesome conversion tool. That's number 3. Follow up equals fortune. Okay, on the home run now. Number 6. Number 6, got two more before we finish. Aim for small wins every day. Now, look, you've got to feed the spirit. You have to feed the spirit because it needs it. It needs to be nurtured. It's so easy to get discouraged. And look, I've had periods, I've gone through periods where I was experiencing stinking thinking. I was beating myself up. I was saying that I'm never going to make this. And let me tell you something. By the beginning of the 3rd week, actually, it was by the beginning of the 4th week. The beginning of the 4th week, so I'd already been trying to do this thing for 3 weeks, making a lot of calls, ringy-dingy one, all of that, doing the follow-up. By the beginning of the 4th week, I hadn't made a sale. And to be quite honest with you, I started to panic. I was losing sleep. And I was thinking, oh, what if this is not going to work? I've invested 10 grand. I've spent all this time. I put my eggs into this basket and I haven't got a sale. I can't even visualize a sale coming from all of these conversations that I've had in the past. I can't see who's going to buy off me. There doesn't seem to be any hot leads, even though I've had all these conversations with all of these leads going back 3 weeks. And for a moment, maybe a few moments, I thought about quitting at the beginning of the 4th week. Now, if I had quit, wow, that'd probably put me out of the industry. That'd be the end of it for me. That would be the end of my online experiment, right? That'd be the end of it, because I would have lost the money, lost all that time, and got nothing to show for it. And, you know, to tell my wife and my mother and all of that, not good, not good, very bad. And besides, my traditional business was failing, so I needed to generate an income to pay the mortgage, okay? So I decided to recommit in that fourth week, at the beginning of the fourth week. But I'll just do one thing. I'll just focus on doing good work. I'll do two things. I focus on doing good work, continue to help people the best way I can, do the honorable thing as best I can, and just look for the small wins. And also reflect on the small wins that I had in the previous 3 weeks. So I look back at some of the people I talked to. I looked at some of the good conversations that I had with those people. And then I just said to myself, I can't believe that at least one of these people are not going to do business with me. It hasn't happened yet, but I just can't believe that it's not going to happen soon, right? So I recommitted. I looked at the small wins. I decided to focus on more small wins for the fourth week. And lo and behold, towards the end of that fourth week, I think it was Friday, something like that, might have been late Thursday, the first sale happened from a conversation that I had with the guy a week earlier, okay? A week earlier. So there it was, the first sale, the first $1,000 commission, the first $1,000 commission. And amazingly, the next day, there were like 2 or 3 more sales. Yeah. So, and including the big one of them upgraded or 2 of them upgraded, something like that. But the bottom line was that in Aussie dollars, at least, $9,200 was plonked into my bank account in the dying days of that first month. Now, what would have happened if I had succumbed to the stinking thinking episode that I had at the beginning of that fourth week and quit? That'd be the end of it. Another miserable story, another failure story. No, I'm glad I hung in there. And I guess the message is that sometimes we just don't know how close we are to success. We don't know. And, you know, and if we allow the stinking thinking to take control, we can unravel so fast mentally that, well, we can be out of the industry. We can quit and we go back to our job once again. We kind of rationalize. We say, oh, it's not so bad if this fails. I can keep doing my job. My job's not that bad. You know, we start rationalizing it. This is just a bunch of BS. We're just selling ourselves a bad story, because the reason why we decided to look for a new opportunity, for example, is because we wanted to quit our job. And now that it looks like we're failing in our new venture, we start to say to ourselves, oh, the job's okay. You know, it's okay if I stick with it for the next 20 years, whatever, right? It's just more BS. It's amazing. Believe me, I've done it plenty of times. So don't worry about it. So that's number 6. Sorry, that's number 5. That's number 5. Aim for small wins every day. Aim for small wins every day, because the small win strategy will help to bolster your belief, your attitude, help to keep your spirits up. So important that we feed the spirit. It's critically important, because all of us are going to face roadblocks, resistance. All of us are going to do that at some point in time. It's never plain sailing. It's never plain sailing. There was me at the beginning of the fourth week. I put in all this work and yet still not a single dollar to show for it of income. Not a single dollar. Okay. Yet just 4 or 5 days later, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars was plonked into my bank account. See? So that was a pivotal moment, wasn't it? That was a pivotal moment. And that brings me to number 6, the last one. You must have a strategy to banish self-doubt and negative self-talk. Now, me, it's the small wins strategy. For me, I think that's the best thing a person can do, is focus on getting some small wins, because small wins can lead to a big win, okay? And give yourself a big pat on the back when you have a small win. And it doesn't have to be money. It could be leads, okay? Today you generated 3 leads. That's a small win. Today you had a great conversation with one prospect. That's a small win. Give yourself a pat on the back. Stop beating yourself up. Don't beat yourself up every day. Don't beat yourself up every week. Have the small wins. Give yourself a pat on the back. Have a mini celebration. Have a yay for the day. Give yourself a yay for the day. Go into the bathroom there and look in the mirror and just make some crazy primordial scream. Yes, yay, I'm awesome. I had 2 good quality conversations with 2 people today, right? Give yourself small wins. You've got to feed the spirit. You've got to nurture yourself, because if you don't do it, no one else is going to. All right? You've got to do that. And so it was that type of thing that I was doing that helped to pull me through during that early period. And then, of course, after I made that money in the dying days of that first month, my enthusiasm, my confidence went through the roof, and I just got up out of my chair. My wife was in the kitchen. I tapped her on the back, and I told her what had happened. I just made some more sales, and I said, you know something? I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life as long as I'm healthy. I'm going to be doing this. This is my chosen vocation, online marketing, because I now love it. I now love it. And here I am, 13 years later, and I still love it. I'm still as enthusiastic and as excited and as passionate as I ever was. And I recommitted over the Christmas break, came up with some new strategies, some new ideas. I've embraced those, and I'm already getting results from these new, so it's next level thinking. Okay, next level thinking. So there you have it. So just a recap. Number 1, high ticket is faster than small ticket. You need a method to generate instant leads if you want to get off to a fast start. Number 3, the phone is an awesome conversion tool. Now, of course, I need to clarify that. The phone could be Skype, it could be Facebook voice, Messenger voice, it could be Zoom calls, whatever. We live in a different period now, but voice calls, they're powerful if you learn how to do them properly. Okay. Number 4, follow-up equals fortune, no doubt about it. You're leaving money on the table if you don't follow up with people. Aim for small wins every day. Small wins, micro wins. Micro wins can build and accumulate and turn into bigger wins down the track. And you must have a strategy to banish self-doubt and negative self-talk, or what Zig Ziglar used to call stinking thinking. We got to do that, because if the stinking thinking will undermine us and it'll put us out of the industry so fast it'll make our heads spin. So we've got to have that. We've got to have that figured in advance. You need a strategy to overcome the self-doubt, the negative self-talk. Okay, great tips. Thank you. Thanks, Becky. I have been beating myself up. Well, we're talking next week, aren't we? So, but okay, that's great. Sharon, hi Sharon, good to see you on the call. Any comments or quick questions? I'm happy to answer them. I'm happy to answer them. I don't know, did Chris answer? Are you still on the Gold Coast, Chris? Chris Goodridge? All right, okay. Anything else? Quick questions? All right, that's it. Have a good weekend, folks. It's Friday morning for me, Thursday evening for some of you. And I look forward to seeing you on the next Facebook Live. I think I'm going to make this like a permanent one via my personal profile. So it'll be Thursday night, North American time, Friday for other regions, okay? So I'll always endeavor to come up with a good topic, something that you'll find valuable. All right, okay. Okay, folks, see ya. Oh, one thing, quick thing. I've got my challenge coming up, and this is called Turbo Tribes Challenge. You want to start getting some quick results? Get involved with this challenge. This challenge, for some people who commit to it, is probably going to be life-changing. It's the most ambitious challenge I've ever run. I've put in more work to develop the content for this challenge. It's going to be significant, and it starts on the 11th of March, March the 11th. So we've still got a bit more, about 9 or 10 days before it starts, but I'm just priming people, getting them ready for this challenge, because this one is going to be terrific. And the some of the strategies that I'm teaching on the during the challenge, I've never taught before. Okay, I will be covering some old other strategies that I've taught before, but I've got some brand new strategies that I am using. It's not a matter of do as I say. It's a question of do as I do. All right, so I don't teach anything that I haven't done myself. All right, so some of these new strategies, I'm using them right now, and yes, they are working. They are working. Like engagement in my Facebook group is increased by 50% just in the last 3 weeks. I've got in my TriBuilder community group, I've now got almost 50% engagement from members. Almost 50%. Now, if you know anything about Facebook groups, or if you've got a Facebook group yourself, check what your engagement level is. You can do it in the statistics area, and very few groups will have an engagement rate of 40, 50, 60%. Very few. Most of them will be lucky to get 5 or 10%. So this is all a result of using new cutting-edge strategies. So there's a lot of that. I'm going to cover that in the challenge. And if you'd like to be put on the priority list for the challenge, just say yes or something like that in the chat box there, and I'll take a note of your name and make sure that you get on that priority list. All right. Anything else, Audrey? Okay, Audrey. Well, we're just coming to the end of it now, but great that you came on. Maybe you can have a look at the replay, and there was definitely, I think there were some pretty good tips there. Okay, I will head off now. Bye-bye, folks, and we'll see you next time. Have a good weekend. Have a good day, evening, whatever it is. Okay, bye-bye.